Hi. This is a sharing on one of the technique dealing with hard cataract in a short eyeball. The surgeon uses stop and chop technique. This is a 69-year-old patient presented with counting finger vision. The cataract was brunescent. At the same time, the eyeball axial length was only 22 mm. With a bulky hard cataract, another challenge was to deal with the shallow anterior chamber. I start with creating paracentesis, filling up the chamber with vision blue and washing it off with intracameral lignocaine. This is followed by injecting viscoelastic into the anterior chamber inside out. Pay attention at the moment we create the main wound. We can see there is an indentation during the wound creation which denotes potentially underfiling of the anterior chamber. In this case, good filling is needed to flatten the bulge of the lens for a safe capsular hexis. Underfilling of viscoelastic and bulging lens render risk of extension of capsular hexis. Once big capsular hexis is created, gentle hydrodissection was made. Note that hydrodelineation is not necessary in this type of case as the bulk of the nucleus is big. And with gentle hydrodissection, we can appreciate the upward movement of the lens. During sculpting, we need to do a few things to improve the working space. We can increase the bottle height and create a second space by clearing the superficial part of the lens. Some people call this as creating a second chamber artificially. At this juncture we were using linear vacuum of 90 mm mercury and 100% torsional. Not only that, if we decide to create a groove it has to be wide enough, wider than the usual cases. One of the reasons is we need to avoid stress on the zonules during cracking of the nucleus. Not only the width, the groove also has to be deep enough as dense cataract usually will have very feathery layer of posterior plate. Complete separation is needed in this case for safer manipulation. Once the floor is thin, separation of the nucleus is done. Again in hard cataract, complete separation will ease the subsequent process. Once completely cracked, we can consider, the most difficult part of the surgery was half done. Once cracked, we will rotate the nucleus. In this case, we were using the stop and chop technique. This is the horizontal chopping in which no vacuum PR phase power is needed. Manual separation was done in a control manner. Once the first piece is out, manipulation of the remaining nucleus becomes much easier. Again in this situation, we set the vacuum at linear mode with 400 mm mercury suction. And Urzil at 80%. Similar method was repeated for the subsequent quadrant. Again, we usually set the bottle height to be high as the eyeball was pretty short. Finally, the removal of cortex was performed. Note in such a case, very minimal cortical matter seen after removing the nucleus. This is followed by the implantation of artificial lens and finally complete removal of the viscoelastic. Intracameral antibiotic is a must, and hydration of the wound was made to ensure the wound is watertight at the end of the procedure. Thank you.